Hello everyone and thank you for tuning into TradeChat. My name is Panzer and today we're going to be talking about 39 things that we learned this year at BlizzCon. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and if you do, remember to rate it thumbs up. I'm going to start the video talking about a little bit of WoW stuff, and then I'm going to talk about other games, and I'm going to get back into WoW. So don't worry, when I move on from WoW, I'm not done yet. I've got a lot more to say. This year at BlizzCon, we learned that we will finally be able to upgrade our default backpack in World of Warcraft to have more spaces. After, 13, 14, however many years, we will finally be able to add more bag slots to that default backpack in World of Warcraft. When this update goes live, any player who has an authenticator attached to their Battle.net account will be given additional bag slots to their default backpack in World of Warcraft. We don't know exactly when this is happening or how many bag slots we're getting, but I, for one, definitely cannot wait. We finally got a release date for World of Warcraft's newest raid, Taurus the Burning Throne, and that will be November 28th for normal and heroic mode. If you're interested in LFR Wing 1 or Mythic mode, those will be out on December 5th. We also found out that Legion PvP Season 5 will be ending on the same day that Legion PvP Season 6 will be beginning, which is also November 28th. So mark November 28th in your calendar, boys, because it's an important date in the World of Warcraft. Since Christy Golden has officially joined the Blizzard team, it's no surprise that we got more information about the newest World of Warcraft book that will be coming very soon. It's called Before the Storm. The first chapter was actually included in the BlizzCon goodie bag, and we got a reveal of the cover art. Check it out. I'm sure you guys are very familiar with Shadow, but if you're not, Shadow is an in-game battle pet in World of Warcraft that can be purchased in the Pet and Mount shop. For a limited time, 100% of Shadow's adoption fee is being donated to hurricane relief funds. Now, at BlizzCon, we found out that Shadow has a plushie version, and 100% of the proceeds from Shadow's plushie will also be donated to hurricane relief funds if purchased before January 1st, 2018. So if that's something that interests you, make sure you grab it quick so that your money goes to a good cause. This year at BlizzCon, Blizzard set the Guinness Book of World Records record for the largest video game diorama. What's extra cool about this is that the scene depicted at the Battle of Lordaeron contains all 3D printed miniatures of actual characters from BlizzCon attendees' Battle.net accounts. In the world of Overwatch, of course, we got the announcement of the new hybrid map, Blizzard World, which is like an amazing amusement park themed around Blizzard games, and it celebrates all of them except for Overwatch because it is in Overwatch and that would just be weird. Along with the announcement of Blizzard World, we also found out that we would be getting 8 new skins for heroes in Overwatch. They're all legendary and they're being added to the base crates. Even cooler is that a lot of them celebrate other Blizzard games or other Blizzard Overwatch stuff. They're really, really cool. Check it out. Along with the announcement of the new maps and the new skins, we also found out that Overwatch will be getting a brand new hero, a support healer named Moira. What's cool about this is that she's a bad guy. She's a member of Talon, formerly a member of Blackwatch. Her lore is really interesting, and in general, she looks amazing. Like, her skills look overpowered. I cannot wait to play her, and if you can't either, she is available to play on the PTR right now. The last thing I wanted to mention about Overwatch is that if you have not seen the Honor and Glory cinematic that's all about Reinhardt, I would totally recommend it. It is a tearjerker, it's very emotional and touching, and if you haven't seen it, I'll have a link in the info below because it's definitely worth watching. On to the world of StarCraft. StarCraft was announced as being a free-to-play game beginning on November 14th. Anyone with a Battle.net account will get Wings of Liberty for free, and if you already own Wings of Liberty, you'll get Heart of the Swarm. Along with the big announcement of StarCraft II going free-to-play, we also found out there would be a new co-op commander, which is actually a mix of two co-op commanders in one. It's Mirahan and Matt Horner, who are married under very odd circumstances. We'll also be getting a new co-op mission called Part and Parcel, and there'll be some co-op quality of life updates, so everyone will have access to all the co-op commanders to level 5. We also found out at BlizzCon this year that Heroes of the Storm would be getting a whole bunch of quality of life changes. I think the most exciting one is performance-based matchmaking, meaning you'll no longer be match-made based on your wins and losses, but on your personal performance in each game. In addition to performance-based matchmaking, we're also going to see a rework of stealth so that stealth heroes are more easily revealed and more easily spotted. Towers will be made more powerful with true sight and unlimited ammo. Standalone towers will be removed. We're also going to see a revamp of regeneration globes, so they'll basically be friendly for 4 seconds, and if your team doesn't pick it up within 4 seconds, it'll become neutral, and either team can pick it up so you can bully your opponents out of lane and steal their health packs. It's gonna be awesome. Also worth mentioning is that Merc camps will now have unique benefits that add a more strategic element to gameplay, and voice chat will be integrated directly through Battle.net. Heroes of the Storm is getting 2 new heroes added to the Nexus, Alexstrasza from World of Warcraft and Hanzo from Overwatch.
But greater challenges still await us.
I believe we are ready.
It's time to find out.
Everyone's favorite plaid-wearing gangster rapper announced this year at BlizzCon that Hearthstone would be getting a brand new expansion pack titled Kobolds and Catacombs. This will be available in December and can be pre-ordered right now. With Kobolds and Catacombs, Hearthstone will be adding 9 legendary weapons, 1 for each class. Probably the thing I'm most excited for that was announced for Hearthstone at BlizzCon this year are dungeon runs. This is like a solo experience, but the best part about it is that it's not really dependent on what cards you already have, so it's very friendly to somebody who doesn't play often or hasn't played in a while. You start out with the same 10 cards as everybody else, and as you make your way through the dungeon, you earn more cards, and if you die, you have to start over with those same base 10 cards. So I love the aspect of this, of not having to have a bunch of cards and know a lot about the current meta. It's kind of like learn as you go, play as you go, and be rewarded as you go. Back to World of Warcraft, I'm sure everybody has heard by now that classic servers are coming to Azeroth. We don't really know when, we don't know a lot of details about it, we didn't have a demo or anything like that, but it's happening, folks. It's happening. Way before we get classic servers, we will be getting patch 7.3.5, which at BlizzCon we found out will be bringing us tons of leveling improvements, which I'm super excited about. The whole world is going to scale now, so starting zones will be 1 to 10, then old world zones will be 10 to 60, then Wrath of the Lich King and BC will be like 60 to 80, then Cataclysm and Mist of Pandaria will be like 80 to 90. I don't know, I'm so excited to be able to go in, and a 52 can level with a 13, and that works, and it works in a way that's similar to the invasions prior to Legion coming out, where just, it doesn't matter what level you are, you can just group up and play and everybody will do meaningful damage and get meaningful experience. And I think the thing I'm most excited for is to not out-level zones. I get criticized a lot for not reading the quest text, but the reason I stopped reading the quest text is because I never made it to the end of the story. You would get halfway through a zone and you out-leveled it, so you never finished it. So what's the point of starting a story if you don't finish it? I'm about to finish so many stories and I'm real hype about it. Patch 7.3.5 will also be bringing us a brand new battleground. It's called the Seething Shore, and it is off the coast of Silithus, and I think I'm not the only one who says it is about time. It's been so long since we got a new BG. Now, just to break this news to you right now, there is a possibility that Seething Shore will not be available to play in 7.3.5 because there's story and lore and all this kind of stuff surrounding it, so it may be implemented before it's actually playable, but it'll be playable soon enough. If we've been waiting this long, you can wait a little longer. But who's hyped for a new battleground? This girl is. And last but not least, 7.3.5 will also be introducing Ulduar Time Walking, which I'm super excited for. Ulduar is like one of my first experiences really seriously raiding, and I heard that you'll be able to do hard modes and stuff, so I'm really excited to see how people handle this. I mean, Ulduar is a long raid. People were complaining that Black Temple was long. Ulduar is way longer than that. Giggity. So I'm just pumped to see how it goes and like what people think of it, and I don't know how it's implemented as a time walking thing, because Ulduar was tough, man. Ulduar was no walk in the park. Well, I mean, technically there was a walk in the park in that instance when you fight the Dryad, but that's not the point. Don't get technical. Speaking of time walking, Warlords of Draenor time walking will likely be introduced in the next expansion. And speaking of a new expansion, that was announced at BlizzCon this year. It's called the Battle for Azeroth, and it will bring us up to level 120. It'll bring us 6 new zones across 2 continents, 6 allied races, 10 new dungeons, and a new raid at launch, new PvP brawls, 2 new arenas, and that BG that's being implemented in patch 7.3.5. At BlizzCon this year, we got both a cinematic and a trailer for the Battle for Azeroth, which is a lot to get with the announcement, and honestly, the cinematic is probably the best World of Warcraft cinematic that's ever been released, so if you haven't seen it, definitely check out the links in the info below and go watch it, because it's amazing. One of the most unexpected things announced at BlizzCon 2017 about Battle for Azeroth is the way that they're handling servers. There will be no more PvP or PvE servers. That whole system will be a toggle in-game that you can toggle world PvP on or off. So no longer will you get ganked as a lowbie because you're on a PvP server, because you can just turn PvP off. It's good for everybody, I guess, unless you like to gank people, and then you're probably sad, but you're also probably a bad person, so... Battle for Azeroth is also bringing us 2 brand new faction-specific hubs, so we have Kultiris for the Alliance and Zandalar for the Horde. Probably the most exciting thing announced for Battle for Azeroth at BlizzCon 2017 are the 6 new allied races. Alliance will be getting Lightforged Draenei, Void Elves, and Dark Iron Dwarves, while the Horde will be getting Zandalari Troll, Nightborn, and High Mountain Tauren. It was also confirmed this year at BlizzCon that because we're getting the 6 allied races, we'll also be getting 6 additional character slots per realm. This is a silly little thing, but I feel like it's worth mentioning that in Battle for Azeroth, you'll be able to stand fully upright on your orc, and it is an option. So if you want to be a hunchy orc, that's fine. If you want to be an upstanding orc, that's fine too. It's something you can change at the barbershop, or I guess the chiropractor? I stole that joke from Perculia. Let it be known, that is a stolen joke. Battle for Azeroth is also going to bring us the return of class buffs, Mark of the Wild, Arcane Brilliance, stuff like that. I'm super excited. I feel like one of the nostalgia things for me of looking back at Raid is all the buffing that you used to do, and it's been gone for a while, so I'm really excited that they're bringing it back. Like with every expansion, Battle for Azeroth is going to be bringing us some class changes, but I feel like it's not quite the same as previous expansions. We're not going to see these major overhauls of every single class. Most classes are just going to get some utility improvements or have some of their artifact or legendary things baked into their specs. And then there'll be a couple classes, like Shadow Priest for instance, that'll have a lot of work done to them because they need improvement. But for the most part, it's just going to be balancing and tweaking and baking in some stuff that we'll be losing with artifacts and legendaries. Now seems like a good time to mention that legendaries as they exist in Legion will not exist in the next expansion. We also will not have artifacts. Instead, we'll have this artifact quality medallion. And while I say medallion, it's not actually a piece of gear. It's not a neck slot. It's totally separate and there's no RNG involved. Everybody gets one and I think it's going to be a way better system. The Heart of Azeroth will use a new resource called Azurite, and this will empower your medallion and unlock latent powers on your gear, specifically your helmet, your shoulders, and your chest. Now what's nice is that these empowerments, these latent abilities on your gear are specific to that piece of gear and not RNG based at all. What's also nice is that Azurite is not a resource that you have to like collect and put in your bags or in your resource tab. It is just absorbed into your medallion automatically, and that medallion will work on all specs. So this seems like a really good improvement from the way artifacts worked in Legion. Battle for Azeroth will be bringing both a stat squish as well as an item level squish because numbers are getting out of control again and they're trying to rein them back in. One of the features that I'm most excited for in Battle for Azeroth are called Island Expeditions. These are 3-player, randomly generated adventures. You go out, you go to this island, the island is randomly generated, so the scenery, the props, the environment detail, the NPCs, the quests, the treasures, all of the things that you do there are completely random, so every time you go, they're going to be different. They take like 15-20 minutes, and it's your group of 3 racing another group of 3 to complete all the quests and collect all the treasures and get all the Azurite you can and just do all the of things faster than the other group. What's really cool though is that the other group, you can choose to go against another group of people, or you can go against a really advanced AI that acts like people. So, you know, if you pull too many mobs, that other group of 3 is going to take advantage of that and try to kill you while you have too many on you, or they're going to CC you, or they're going to stun you, or they're going to interrupt you or silence you, and they're supposed to act much more like real players. So this is sort of like dipping your toes in PvP without actually having to deal with other players. Another new feature coming in Battle for Azeroth that looks amazing are war fronts. These are epic 20-man versus NPC raid battles. And using the word raid is a little bit misleading because these are much more like an RTS game than like a standard World of Warcraft raid. You are farming resources and training troops and upgrading stuff and building buildings, and you're doing all of these Warcrafty type things. The only real difference between war fronts and Warcraft is the point of view. Instead of this top-down commanding of the army, it is first-person point of view. You are in the thick of the battle while also maintaining your resources and building your buildings and upgrading and doing all this stuff, and man, it looks like a lot of fun. Battle for Azeroth is also bringing us some improved social features, so we'll have in-game voice chat provided by Battle.net, just the way that Overwatch does, and there'll be new WoW communities, which is basically like mini-guilds, so you'll have your guild, but if you're a hunter, maybe you want to join like Hunter Pet Addicts Anonymous, or maybe you want to join a transmog community, or maybe you want to join a pet collecting community for battle pets, or who knows, maybe it's just a community for nerds. I don't know what you're gonna do with your time. I don't judge. I don't ask questions. And the question that I know everyone is asking in Battle for Azeroth, how will flying work? And it will work the same way it has in Legion and Warlords of Draenor. So it will be an ongoing progression of achievements to unlock it eventually after you've sort of experienced all the content from the ground. If you head over to your Battle.net account, you can opt into the Battle for Azeroth beta right now. I know this is more than 39 things, but it was important to tell you that, okay? All right. So that's it for my list of 39 things that we learned at BlizzCon 2017. Was there anything that I missed that should have been on this list? Let me know in the comments section below. I'd also love to hear your thoughts on any of the things we talked about today. If you enjoyed the video, please thumb it up and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. I'm gonna go. I hope you're having a wonderful day. I love you all. You're in my hearts. I'll see you soon. Goodbye. Goodbye.